A very common practice for a lot of cartoon shows in the 2010s has been to stick your IP on almost every type of media that there is. Toys, food, clothes, and especially video games. Rick and Morty, of course, has dipped their toes into the water of each of these very different markets. We have gotten so much Rick and Morty media over the years, it's very easy to lose track of all the new things that are being released. Who remembers Rick and Morty's collabs with Wendy's and Pringles? And who could forget the infamous Szechuan sauce? Besides those, Rick and Morty have had huge toy lines with Funko and other large companies. But of the licensed goods we've gotten from this show, I think that the video games are the most inconspicuous of all. Most people, when they think of Rick and Morty video games, probably have Pocket Mortys come to mind. Now that makes sense because Pocket Mortys has been a huge success since its release in 2016, and it's even garnered its own dedicated fanbase. Unfortunately though, not too long ago, its developers announced that the game will be shutting down in April of this year. The game has such a long and rich history that it deserves a video of its own, so expect a full-length video on Pocket Mortys around the time it shuts down. The video you are watching now is not at all about this game, because if you've been a Rick and Morty fan over the last decade, you probably have heard or even played this game before. But instead, I want to take a look at a couple of the lesser known and far more niche games. A lot of people might remember this abomination of a game. This was like a random game released by Adult Swim, and the only real importance it ever had was that it cured my boredom in school for like 2 minutes maximum, and then it kind of freaked me out. So you just grab Morty and throw him around, and that's absolutely it. Not exactly high level gaming. Apart from this, I found some very obscure Rick and Morty licensed games, that some of which I have never even heard of. Starting off with an iOS and Android game based off the game that Jerry used to play on his iPad in the first couple of seasons. It's literally just called Jerry's Game, and of course all you do is just pop balloons like Jerry. This game was very repetitive and had no real mechanics apart from some random achievements you got for, you guessed it, popping more balloons. This game isn't even playable and got removed from both the Apple and Google Play Store. Now on to bigger and better games. Rick and Morty's Brushed License Adventure is a game I recently discovered, and it's honestly awesome. While making this video, I played through all 4 chapters and it was incredibly fun and entertaining. The game is an 8-bit style flash game, and it used to be available on the Adult Swim website, but now if you want to play it, you're going to have to use a third-party flash player. The game starts off just like the first episode of the show, with Rick barging into Morty's room at night.
It's just a licensed game, Morty. It's a licensed game. It had to be made quick.
Rick needs Morty's help closing these 2 portals he found in the garage, and he needs Morty to go and find a lens and a piece of cloth.
Gotta click all around the house. Just keep clicking until you find me 2 items. Okay.
The first chapter of the game has you going around the house and garage. One of the first things you can do is pick up this sock.
Sock! Did I do it? Did I win the game?
And this sock does absolutely nothing, but it's extremely important later on. When Morty goes inside the house, you meet this random alien, and of course he's incomprehensible.
How are you supposed to tell what this thing is saying when he talks?
And so, you got to use the device from the garage to decipher what he says.
Alright, what are you talking about now? Yeah, I'm hungry. What do you mean you're hungry? I want food, dude. Give me some food.
Morty decides he will help and go grabs the alien some food so he can lure him off the couch. Except this alien gives Morty a huge wedgie. But this is perfect because Morty's underwear is the perfect piece of cloth that Rick needs. Morty breaks the 4th wall and gets a little shy, so he closes the garage door on us, and bam! Just like that, Rick can suck up the portals and now everybody is saved. In chapter 2, Morty finds a dish on the dining room table and makes the mistake of eating some of it. That backfires bad on Morty because Rick doesn't see him and throws him and the disc in the fridge. Once we get in there, we are immediately greeted by our old friend.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna get this sock. Are you kidding me? Nobody gets socks better than me. I get A+ in school about getting socks.
After doing a little bit of food parkour, Morty finds a way to turn up the heat in the fridge, but once he does that, he immediately discovers one of the most disturbing things in the whole game.
What the hell are you? Like some kind of weird, bizarre Rick monster? No. The developers didn't have time to draw a new character, so they just pasted Rick's head onto a seahorse that they were working on for another game.
This weird little Rick helps Morty get out, but of course that doesn't end well for him. A reoccurring thing in this game is that Rick just always beats up Morty after each chapter, and this time he seemed pretty upset about his little seahorse friend.
God, Morty, what did you do to my weird little seahorse version of me?
Now on to chapter 3, where Morty walks into Summer's room and sees a jumbled up Summer and a passed out Rick. She forces Morty to go around and grab stuff to help wake up Rick. But of course, you can't forget our little sock. You always have to go and grab him.
Get back in my inventory where you belong, you little scamp! You light-hearted little character! You're just a sock!
In order to fix Summer, Rick needs some of her DNA and a photo of her. And the only way we can get that for him is by losing one of our dimensions. After this, we actually get to take over Rick. And as Rick, we use some basic items around Summer's room to grab some DNA off of her jacket, as well as cut out a picture of her. After Rick gives Morty one of his dimensions back and goes to fix Summer, things go very bad. Instead of fixing this problem, Rick just decides to ignore it, and so he just tranquilizes Summer and Morty, and then he proceeds to party with himself, the sock, and the alien from chapter 1. Oh yeah, and they still technically beat up Morty. Okay, and finally the final chapter. Rick and Morty are under attack by some sock people who kidnap Morty and take him away to a prison on a sock world. Rick and Morty have to work together to turn some dryers into portals between the two dimensions. They send stuff back and forth, and eventually Morty is able to put a stop to the sock people by dressing up as a sock and getting rid of the guards. After all that, Morty finally makes it home, and like usual, Rick celebrates by beating on Morty. But whatever happened to our little sock buddy? Oh wait, Morty ate him somehow, and Rick punching him caused him to regurgitate it up. And this was pretty much the entire game. I still recommend playing it because there's so much to see, and achievements to get in all chapters, and some very random voice lines. Okay, this next game is a very weird one because it was available on Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's called Rickverse. The way it worked was there was a bunch of Instagram accounts linked to one another where you can view images on each account and click on photos that will lead you through different Rick and Morty locations. These locations all had a bunch of Easter eggs, and overall there was just so much to explore. Unfortunately, the links to the accounts are broken, and now you can only see remnants of what the game used to be. Keeping up with the theme of now defunct games, this game was quietly released in only a few countries before being discontinued and taken down. The game was centered around you playing as Rick and gathering up clones and leveling up those clones so you can battle against other Ricks in a big event called Rick Mania. There were tons of characters in this game and it looked pretty complete, so I have no idea why this game was discontinued and even shut down entirely. The game was up for so little that there was only about 5 videos on the whole game on YouTube. A lot of people call this game similar to a Pocket Morty's remake, or a Pocket Morty's 2. And there's some major similarities for sure, except it's pretty much fighting with every character you can think of, instead of just different versions of Morty. I'm a little disappointed you can't play this game anymore because it honestly just looks so cool and fun, but a lot of the time good games like these get abandoned or taken down before they can even gain any popularity. While technically not a game, this final edition is a fun way to pass some time. On the official Adult Swim website, they have a little game called Rick Yourself. On this site, you can customize your own Rick and Morty character with lots of things to choose from. As you can see, I decided to just play around with different versions of Mr. Meeseeks. But anyways, I will link all the available games in the description. Make sure to check them out, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.